Today's video, I'm going to be showing you the easiest 3-ingredient peach dump cake. This is honestly one of the best cakes I have ever had, and it is so easy. All you're going to need is a box of yellow cake mix, 2 cans of peaches, and a stick of butter. It's optional to add cinnamon, nutmeg, nuts, sugar, but we're just going to stick with the 3 basics and keep it super simple. But those are extras that you can add for extra flavor, which I will put in the description. I love this cake because it is a crowd pleaser and it is so easy. Heat the oven to 350. Glass casserole pan or square casserole dish, some kind of casserole dish to be able to pour the peaches and the cake. If you have a larger one, you can use that, but keep in mind the larger the pan, the thinner the cake is going to be. Today I'm going to be using a 9x13, I believe this is, but like I said, any size you have is fine. But if you want it to be a thicker cake, use a smaller pan, and if you want it to be a thinner cake, then use a larger pan like this. First things first, we are going to melt the butter for the cake. So I am going to put 1 stick of butter, which equals out to a 1/2 cup. I'm using salted butter because I probably won't put any salt on top, but you could use unsalted butter and then add salt to it if you wanted. While the butter is melting, we are going to open up the cake mix and pour this into our pan. First things first, you are going to open your peaches. And you are just literally gonna pour the juice and all into the pan. Now you are gonna take your yellow cake mix. You are just going to pour this on top. You're gonna kind of try to evenly pour it. You're just gonna try to get this all the way around. One thing I did forget to do was spray the pan. It's okay, at this point I'm not gonna worry about it, but spray the pan ahead of time. I will put that in the description. And it may look like it's too much cake, but don't worry, it's not. You just keep covering it and... All right. Get the rest of that. Now I'm just gonna make sure it's even. Get all of the fruit covered. All right, I have the cake mix completely covering the top of it, and now we are going to pour the melted butter on top. Perfect. So like I said earlier, we have the 1/2 cup, the 1 stick of butter right here. And now you are just going to pour that over the top. And you want to make sure that you're getting it in different spots. So I'm going to try to just kind of make sure that I'm some over there. And since it didn't spread that much, what I'm going to do, because I just want to make sure the butter gets mixed around with the cake and make sure that there's butter everywhere, not mixed around, but what I'm going to do is just kind of like just do a little bit of this, just a tiny bit. Just to kind of, I don't want to mix it too much because you're really not supposed to mix it. So I'm just going to leave the butter like that, leave the cake. It may look weird. I may do this a little bit. Let's do that. There we go. And then do that. You can see the layers of the cake, the peaches, the butter. So now we are just going to take this and stick this in the oven. And we are baking this at 350 for 35 to 40 minutes. So I'm gonna put the timer on for 35 minutes. Okay, it has now been in for 47 minutes. Now let's check this. There we go. Now we're starting to look like you see how it's getting brown right there on the top, and you could still kind of see the butter right there. So we're gonna let it cook actually still a little bit longer. It did say in the recipe if you use extra peaches or do a thicker cake, it could take longer. So we're gonna let this bake a little bit longer still. Alrighty, here we go. Now we're talking. Now you can see that crust. Now you can see that crust is really formed on top, and you can see the butter right there. This is looking really good. Perfect. Look at that. So you can see right here, this area I might be able to bake a little bit longer because it's still soft, but I'm gonna let that be ooey and gooey in the middle because we have a nice crust right here. And you can see on the edges, it's starting to get caramelized, so I don't want it to get burnt by any means. And it looks nice and baked all the way through when you look around. So since it's been a while past its bake time, I just don't want to over bake it. So I am gonna take it out as is and let this sit. This looks absolutely perfect. This looks absolutely perfect. You can see you have the nice crust right here and the nice caramelization around the edges. And then it's still nice and gooey right here. Oh, it's gonna be perfect. Okie dokie, the moment of truth here. It is still warm, but I do want to kind of cut into it while it's warm to show you. And then, oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh. Ooh. The moment of truth. I have some Cool Whip outside, but I'm gonna try it without first. Oh my gosh. The crust is nice and crispy. On top of the peaches are so soft and so just sweet. Hear that crunch? 10 out of 10. I mean, look at that. Yummy. I could literally just keep eating this. So good. Look at that. Yum. The recipe will be below. Make sure to let me know down in the comments if you try it out. And if you're not already, make sure to subscribe for more easy and delicious recipes.